All right, guys, so the NFL season is officially here. And I don't know about y'all, but I know that my Sundays are going to look just like this. Me in my favorite jersey, black and gold, parked in front of my TV, just chilling. So once again, I've partnered up with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the National Football League, to bring all new customers an exciting way to join in on the action. Right now, new customers, download the DraftKings app, use my code, Cormier, bet $5 and boom, $200 in bonus bets instantly. So you don't have to wait any longer to get some skin in the game. Just download the DraftKings app right now. All new customers, bet only $5 on any wager and you'll receive 200 in bonus bets instantly. If you want to stand on the action, use your 200 in bonus bets on the DraftKings same game parlays. Combine multiple bets together from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. And guys, if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry, we still got you at DraftKings. Play our daily fantasy, and you get a shot at winning cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. All new customers, use DC's promo code, Cormier. Bet just $5 on any sports wager and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Cormier, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's get to the video. All right, guys, I'm here with Sean Strickland, main event UFC 293 from Sydney, Australia. He takes on the champ Israel Adesanya. Sean, thank you for checking in with my man.
Dude. DC the legend.
So, this whole thing came fast, right? It was Dricus du Plessis, and I remember talking to one of the bosses, and he kind of softly hinted that it might be Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's look into Sean Strickland. And when you look into Sean Strickland outside of the Pereira fight, you do deserve a championship fight. Was this when you expected this to happen?
I mean, it came fast, but, I've never said no to the UFC. When they call me, I say yes. I thought I was next in line. I thought I got robbed with Cannonier. Again, Cannonier, great guy. I thought I got robbed. It's kind of funny after the...
You thought you won the fight?
Yes. I even had judge... I've had some people in the UFC come and be like, oh, man, you got robbed.
Really?
It was kind of funny. One of those things where they're like, well, Sean, you showed damage. I had a scratch on my nose. I'm like, guys, I'm fucking white. Cold weather damages me. Fucking you get some wind and I get damage. You get some fucking cold air and I get chapped lips and I start fucking bleeding. A scratch on the nose doesn't lose a fight.
Yeah. So you thought you should have won that fight and was the rightful number one contender?
Yes, 100%. 100%. It doesn't happen, but here's the thing about opportunity, guys. Never happens when you want it to happen. Would I have loved to have a full 12-week camp and brought in all the tall, lanky kickboxers? I would love that shit. But that's not how opportunity works. It just shows the fuck up and you either answer or you don't. You
answer.
You always got to answer, guys. And hey, a lot of times you answer, you always fail. But unless you answer, you don't know.
Well, you could never succeed if you don't take the chance.
100%.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people, they don't realize. Like a lot of successful people, whether it be they bought real estate, they invested, it's not that they have anything over you guys. They just say, yes, I'm down. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to fucking do it. And what has been so beneficial to me, the UFC, when the UFC calls me and they say, hey, you want this risk? And I say, yes. And, sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. With Alex, it didn't pay off. But you keep saying yes, you keep grinding, and you slowly get what you want.
Sean, you got on a shirt that says cancel me.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, yeah, I'm finally starting to, trying to make money, you guys. I don't want to be broke my whole life.
But to certain people, you're a breath of fresh air, right? Because we live in a different world today where everybody doesn't kind of just say and talk as they want. But is this really you, or is this like a little bit of a, I get it now. Yeah. It's more than just fighting. Because there are a lot of guys that are great at fighting, but they don't connect to people. Yeah. And whether people love you or they hate you, they got to feel something either way. Yeah. So when I was getting booed going to the octagon, I was happy. When I was getting cheered, I was happy because they felt something. Yeah. Is this really Sean Strickland, or is this a little bit of a Sean Strickland with the volume turned up to 100 to make sure that people are taking notice of you?
You know what it is, you guys? I can't take off the glasses. And what I mean by that, like when I walk through the world, and even when I get cameras thrown in my face, when I get people coming up to me, like Izzy is the embodiment of the superstar. Like the LeBron James, the NBA, the NFL, like you have these people that are like artificially inflated by the world, and they wear the belt, they drive the car, they wear the jewelry, and like it means absolutely nothing. it means absolutely nothing. Like the car you drive, what you wear, the clothes you have means absolutely fucking nothing. And I think people like me because when you see me in front of a camera fighting, when you see me do an interview, they're like, oh man, you are like me. You're not the LeBron James. You're not the Izzy. You're just a normal guy fighting, you guys. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to have to ride a bike to work. I've experienced all these things. And no matter how many cameras are thrown in my face, no matter how many people beg me for an interview or how many people ask me for something, at the end of the day, man, I'm just a fucking guy and I'm just here by chance and hard work.
And again, that is what connects you with a lot of people. Not really, like you said, taking off the glasses to the world.
It's hard, man. Like, trust me, every day.
But how do you operate in this world, right? Because there's a lot of people
It's
that
depressing.
go, this is ridiculous.
I detach myself from it. You know, it's like, I mean, I did an interview with Mexico, and the Fox Sports Mexico, and the guys asked me, and Mexican people are some of the toughest, most hardworking people, and I can't even not think about it. Like, you take his job, just because he's working out of Fox Sports Mexico, doing the same exact job out of Fox Sports US, he's probably getting paid a quarter of it, just because he is in Mexico. And there's so much shit in the world, dude, where I can't unsee it. I can't take off the glasses. So when I talk about it, people are like, oh, this guy gets it. I'm like, bro, how do you not get it? Like, how do you not get it? I can't not see it.
You know, you are different in the way that you approach the media and everything. And now you find yourself on the verge of fighting against one of the most dominant middleweight champions of all time.
No, one of the best.
And you don't like him. And I wonder.
No, I don't say it. I don't necessarily say it.
Are you guys' interactions aren't pleasant?
No, I don't have anything against Izzy. Everything I say about Izzy, you guys, I'm not making up. I'm not, these aren't fictitious things I'm making up. These are things that he's done and he said. And if Izzy, maybe you should look in the mirror and understand that, being a isn't being a man. What? Okay, DC. No, let's ask you. You say you aren't going to edit this out, DC.
No. I'll fucking.
You African American? We could assume, right? You never know.
I'm black.
You're black.
Yeah.
How much would it cost to do what Izzy did? How much would it cost?
What did Izzy do?
And this is all public knowledge. Just so you guys can go Google it. He was fighting for a Chinese kickboxer, and he had his shirt off, and he said, "You look at the color of my skin," and blah blah blah. And he held up a flag, and he says, "But I am Chinese." And then this is fact. You can look it up. And then later on, somebody confronted him and said, "Hey, Izzy, what about you said this?" And Izzy was like, "Because they're fucking paying me." So I'm asking you, DC, how much money would it?
I think Izzy was probably saying he sees himself in everybody, regardless of the race.
No, but
that's probably what he sees in himself.
No,
right? So
Izzy was being. But I'm saying, I'm asking you, DC. I'm asking you, DC. You go wrestle in China right now. You go wrestle in China right now. I hand you a Chinese flag. I say, DC, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say, you can't
really ask me that. I'm like I'm a U.S. guy.
But what would you say? But how much money? But how much money?
But I don't.
Because DC, you're a man. That's why. Because you're a fucking man, and someone's gonna hold a dollar in front of you, and you're not gonna just strip out down who you are. You're not gonna put nail polish on like. You have dignity. You have been one of the staples of the sport. And so whenever people say I hate Izzy, I don't hate Izzy. I have nothing wrong with Izzy. I just point out who Izzy is, and I point out why people don't like Izzy.
Do you think that this all started with that press conference? Izzy said that he walked up behind you, slapped you on the ass, and you said something to the effect of, "Don't do me like Paulo Costa." Do you guys go out in front, and it's just immediately arguing?
It's just like cringy. Like it's just cringy, And like for instance, when Izzy called out Dreykus, like what do you think about that? When he goes and tried to race bait Dreykus to say something offensive. What do you think about that?
It was a bit uncomfortable.
It was a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And another thing about Izzy, you guys, Izzy.
But Izzy talking right now, Sean, about Izzy. It doesn't sound like you don't like Izzy.
But one more thing. I'm sure Izzy's a nice enough guy. But let's say another thing about Izzy. World stage, UFC event, world stage. He wears a shirt that says what? He is not your bank. World stage, man. World stage. You're about to announce a next big fight, and you take that opportunity to shit on your ex-girlfriend. So
I thought that would. Maybe, do you remember when Dana said that they don't put how much we actually make because our families all start reaching?
Well,
I thought that's what that was. That was his ex-girlfriend.
I don't talk about spouses, and nobody should.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't.
This is just public knowledge. This is the shirt you wore, you chose to wear.
I thought that was for his family.
You could have said anything, bro. You could have talked about Ukraine. You could have talked about hungry Africans. You could have said anything. You open your mouth and the world listens. And you wear a shirt that says "Not His Bank." You get drunk and then you go try to race bait Dreykus.
You guys have that interaction on stage. Do you think that helps still? That helps to get you in this position where we can always go back, and the company can always go back and run those clips. You guys arguing back and forth. There's bad blood.
Again,
it could sell like this is the fight because these guys have a history.
You know, guys, this is UFC, WWE, it's all related. The more you talk, Conor McGregor, the more you talk, the more you make, man. The fans want me to beat Izzy because Izzy is not likable. I mean, everything Izzy does is fucking cringe from everything he does. So I know why the company wants it. I know why the fans want it. But all I could say, guys, if I win that belt, we're going to bring dignity back into the middleweight division.
How do you do that? How do you beat a guy in Adesanya who shows he's so skilled and well-rounded, especially with you're not a guy that's going to be trying to wrestle him, right? You're a striker.
No, let's not say that. I might wrestle you guys. I might wrestle. I wrestle like 3 days a week. Maybe I could actually use it once.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty good at wrestling. I just don't ever do it.
But you're a good striker, and your volume and your boxing is what allows for you to, as the fight goes on, you start to separate yourself. How do you do that with a guy like Adesanya, who's such a great counter striker?
You know, if I had to say anything, it's Bisping versus Anderson Silva. It's like you just got to give a little bit to the gods. Like you got to just accept that, like, your path to victory is going to be hard. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. I mean, that's at the end of the day when you're fighting someone of that skill, and not only of that skill, of that length.
Yeah. There's
a lot of weapons you got to get through to get to him. So, no, it's going to be a rough fight, but it has the makings to be one of the best fights.
You know, a lot of times in these situations when Izzy fights a guy that on the surface isn't as threatening, they become a little bit slower fights. Cannonier fight, Romero fight. Those fights get a little slower because it seems as though there's a lot of risk with not as much reward.
Yeah.
How do you pull him out of that? Because those guys, they get in there with Izzy and they start to take pictures, right? They start to watch him and they don't fight him, and then it ends up being a slow fight.
And that's one thing with Alex Pereira. You know, Alex, again, you want to talk about a guy, stand-up guy, great husband, great father. You know, it was like stand-up guy. But, you know, I overthought that one. I had like, if you beat him, you have a guaranteed title shot. So I kind of froze. I didn't fight. So, you know, if I learned anything from that fight, just go in there and fight. Just go in there and fight, you know. Go in there.
What do you mean?
Like, everything I thought, I overthought everything, whether it be a straight cross, whether it be a hook, everything. I was just overthinking everything, as opposed to just going there and fighting. And so if I learned anything from that fight, just, you know, turn off the brain and just go in there and try to fight. Just fucking fight hard.
I've heard some stories out of your training camp that not many people have seen a man work as hard in preparation. I hear stories that you sparred in pads 20 rounds in a row. How are you carrying that type of workload as you head into this? Like, it seems as though you're very aware of the challenge that's ahead of you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm going to go train. I'm going to go do a hard 5 rounds of wrestling after this interview. A big reason to you guys, I love it. I love fighting. It's like, I pretty much fight to train. Like, I love when I have a fight, I have an excuse to spar hard. I have an excuse to spar the best guys. A big reason why I train so hard is because it makes me happy. Yeah. It has nothing really to do with the fight.
This fighting is not about being an athlete from some other sport that chose this. What did you play any other sports before fighting?
No, man. Fighting was. I was a kid. I played football, junior American, but obviously I think I went to like 4 years of actual schooling. I couldn't keep a 2.0. Got kicked out of school.
It was hard.
It was hard, man. And then I remember I was about 14 years old, just kind of miserable, angry. I walked in the gym the first time, and then it was the first time in my life I've ever felt happiness. And this is what I try to tell people, man. Even talking about it, like it kind of tears me up because it brings me back to like that first day of like happiness. And what I try to tell people, like, man, the world's fucking rough. The world's fucking rough. It's hard to be a man. You have no pillars of masculinity. You're designed to be insecure. And a lot of people, man, walk into a gym, go spar, go grapple. It's like, it's a brothership. It's a home. you meet people from all different races, religions, nationalities, and truly it's a last safe haven for like mental health and masculinity, which is insane because we try to kill each other.
You said that, I read something somewhere where you said that if you weren't doing this, you'd be doing some bad stuff in the trailer. Like, this stuff, it saved your life.
Yeah, so I mean, when I was younger, I got kicked out of school for hate crimes. Whenever you come from an extremely violent childhood, you start grasping on like sense of masculinity and strengths, and like, I had racist influences in my life, so the only really masculinity and strength was these pretty much pieces of shit that I grasped onto. They work out, they're strong, they get respect. It's just like this brutal cycle. It's this brutal cycle, and it's not just whites, it's everybody. It's fucking everybody. And I mean, it's a damn shame, bro. And I don't know how to fix it. For me, I started training, and I was exposed to the world, and there's actually kind of dawned on me. My entire life, everybody who's kind of put me down, who kicked me out, they're all white. Everybody who's really held it, Lorenz Larkin, he's ex-UFC guy. Everybody who's actually, Lorenz. He's a great guy, but everybody who's actually held out their hand and said, hey, Sean, even me, after saying all this crazy shit when I was a kid, everybody who held out their hand, who tried to help me, either black or Mexican. And I'm not putting down white people, but I'm saying, like, at some point you take a step back and you look and you're like, man, like, the world is not what you think it is. Yeah.
A lot of times they say the people that hurt you the most are the ones that are closest to you.
Yeah.
And
that's one of those things about fighting, which I wish more people would like, especially like inner city communities, man. Like fighting, boxing, like it literally is like a safe haven. And I wish that, I wish it would grow more. I wish it grow more, like boxing, MMA. I mean, it saved my life. You guys, for the average people, you guys don't know what it's like to be angry. You don't, like, if we're talking about inner city kids, like, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be so angry that you just walk down the world saying, like, if I could hurt somebody, I feel good. And it doesn't matter, white, black, Mexican. People who grow up like me with shitty fathers, abusive households, we have this anger in us. And we have to put it towards something, whether it be a gang, selling drugs, racism. We got to put this anger towards something. And that's like, MMA, man, it truly is amazing. And I wish we did more of it.
Sean, you are a story of someone that's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But on Saturday night, you have the opportunity to become the champion of the world. If you win that belt, what does that mean to you? And to all the people that do support you and follow you and have seen you through this journey, right? From being a guy at welterweight that was okay. Yeah. To a guy that's now fighting for the middleweight championship of the world, from a guy that got hit by a car riding his motorcycle. Like, what does that mean to you and those fans if you get that job done on Saturday?
You guys, and I'll tell you, buddy, I'm pretty stoic. I don't really get excited at things, but it would mean something to me to bring the belt, to represent my fans, to represent you guys of all, black, white, Mexican. I was in New York, and it's kind of funny. I was in New York, and the only people who recognized me were the Nigerians in Central Park. And they all wanted pictures. So, like, I represent a broad spectrum of people that they don't get representation from guys like Izzy. They don't get representation from guys like that. So, it would mean so much to win a belt, to amplify my voice to make better men, make masculinity great again. It would mean so much to me to be able to represent you guys and have a louder platform for you guys.
Sean Strickland takes on Israel Adesanya this Saturday, UFC 293. From Sydney, Australia. Sean, thank you for checking in,
my
man.
True legend, bro.
You, man.
If I could wrestle half as good as you, it's going to be an easy fight.
Guys, make sure you hit the purchase button. Watch this man try to chase history. Till next time, like, subscribe. Peace.
Thanks, man.